Welcome to this special edition of County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Throughout this year, we have brought you stories that gave information about all that is happening in Montgomery County. Today, we take you on a journey through some of the stories that defined 2016. We will begin with the most important statewide law change when it comes to drunk driving. NOAA's law went into effect in the state of Maryland on October 1st, and officials unveiled the NOAA's law stamp that is affixed to ignition interlock devices in vehicles of drunk driving offenders.
With the enactment of this law, we will have one of the strongest ignition interlock programs in the nation. It is very fitting that a picture of NOAA is being added to the ignition interlock devices. Police are the guardians of our welfare, and NOAA will always be remembered as one of our finest.
Montgomery County Police Officer Noah Leota was killed by a drunk driver while on DUI patrol last December. His death led to passage of legislation to require ignition interlocks for all drunk driving offenders.
Under NOAA's law, any motor vehicle operator whose blood alcohol on a breath test is 0.08 or higher would be required to install an ignition interlock device on their car for 6 months. If a driver refuses to take an alcohol breath test, they would either have to install the interlock for 9 months or their license will be suspended. NOAA's law also requires the breath testing ignition devices for anyone convicted of driving while intoxicated.
Maryland State Senator Jamie Raskin and State Delegate Ben Kramer had introduced similar legislation 7 years ago, but it never passed until tragedy hit the Leota family and they became advocates in Annapolis. Both legislators sponsored the bill again this year.
The absolute turning point was the involvement of the Leota family. It took the terrible tragedy of the loss of their son, but they decided that this was what they wanted to throw everything behind, because had there been an ignition interlock device on the car of the guy who killed their son, who'd been drinking for 4.5 hours at a Hooters restaurant, he would have gotten in the car, wouldn't have started.
The sticker will serve as a lasting tribute to Officer Leota. For the law enforcement community, NOAA is still on patrol. Here's a story that happened at the very beginning of the year, the blizzard of 2016. During a period of 36 hours, over 30 inches of snow fell on some areas of Montgomery County. This snowstorm closed schools, local businesses, and government offices as residents hunkered down to wait it out.
It started snowing on Friday, January 22nd, and when it was all over, the National Weather Service reported that 38.5 inches had fallen on North Potomac, which was the third highest snowfall total on the east coast of the United States. Over 35 inches fell in Gaithersburg, and 30 inches were recorded in Damascus. Clearing all that snow from county streets and business districts was a multi-day operation for highway services crews who utilized over 800 pieces of equipment and tons of salt.
If you look around Montgomery County and you compare it to other places around the region, you see the difference in terms of our ability to remove snow.
I want to thank men and women in highway services who've been working smart, hard, around the clock since last Thursday, pre-treating and dealing with this snow. Trust me, they haven't been home to clear their driveways or get a good night's sleep since this storm started.
County officials said the biggest problem was moving all that snow.
You have a county that covers over 500 square miles, 5,000 lane roads to clear. The weight of the snow, having to haul snow in many places as opposed to simply pushing it aside, having large numbers of people who are maybe out walking the streets created some challenges. But overall, I think that we've responded very well, and I'm very proud of our men and women who've engaged in this effort thus far.
I have been involved with the snow operation for Montgomery County for the past 15 years. I operated the Snowmageddon. This is by far, and I've been living in this community for 40 years. This is by far more snow in one event than I have ever remembered in this community.
One of the best ways to stay updated about what's happening during an emergency in Montgomery County is to sign up for the Alert Montgomery, which is the county's official emergency communications service. We encourage you to visit the county's website to sign up for Alert Montgomery and to learn more about the county's centralized 311 system, which includes online service requests. The county has also provided a revised online portal that provides snow information in a more user-friendly format. A big change came from the Montgomery County Board of Education when they appointed Dr. Jack Smith as the Superintendent of Schools for MCPS. Here's that story.
All in favor? It is unanimous.
By a unanimous vote, the Montgomery County Board of Education approved the conditional appointment of Dr. Jack Smith as the new MCPS superintendent effective July 1st, 2016. The meeting, Thursday, February 4th, was attended by Dr. Smith, who serves currently as the interim state superintendent of Maryland Schools and was formerly superintendent of Calvert County Public Schools.
Very much looking forward to this opportunity and this effort to work on behalf of all children.
During a press conference following the vote, the newly appointed superintendent spoke to areas of focus when he begins his term as leader of Montgomery County Public Schools.
I won't wait months or years to start talking about what needs to happen on behalf of children and students, and I will work very closely with the staff, the board, the community, the leaders in the community, the citizens in the community, to think about what is needed on behalf of every student in this school system.
The appointment is conditional on approval from the state superintendent of Maryland Schools and is expected prior to July 1st. To introduce the new superintendent to the community, the Board of Education is planning a series of public meetings in the near future that are intended to give all members of Montgomery County a chance to learn more about the superintendent.
We are in the process now of working up a calendar where, as his time allows, he'll be going to some events.
The Board of Education conducted a nationwide search for the new superintendent, solicited characteristics important for the new superintendent from the public, and then formed a review committee made up of many members of the community to help identify the final candidate.
What became very clear during the process of the interview was his commitment to equity, his commitment to all students and all students' success in their learning.
He also seemed to have as he called it, a sense of urgency about educating children and closing the achievement gap. And so I hope that that will be reflected when he comes here.
His experience gave us a level of confidence that he has the skills, he has the right approach.
Well, I'm looking forward to working with all of the families and the students in the system to think about what are the best strategies, the best practices, the best ways we can do business on behalf of them.
When we come back, 2016 was the year when the county took a step forward to make bus rapid transit a reality. And also on transportation, Metro's safe track surges impacted commuters while the county provided transportation options during Metro repairs. All this when we come back.
In Montgomery County, we have a goal to reduce waste and recycle 70% of all waste by 2020. By recycling and reducing waste, we save natural resources and make our community even better. So recycle at home, work, school, everywhere, and keep recycling going. For more information, call the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311 or visit montgomerycountymd.gov/recycling.
Keep it going. Recycle more now.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Thank you for staying tuned to this special edition of County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili, and we're showcasing the events that made 2016 such an amazing year. A lot of changes for transportation came in the county, One of those events was when Executive Ike Leggett sent recommendations to County Council to advance bus rapid transit and put cost-effective transit options on the ground in the next 4 years. Highlighting that the future economic vitality of the county depends on increased transportation, Executive Ike Leggett announced new recommendations to provide congestion relief and introduce BRT in less than 4 years.
I did this because I believe that improved transit would, of course, improve our overall economic development and job growth throughout Montgomery County. It certainly would reduce traffic congestion in our county, and it could, in fact, protect our environment.
Leggett sent to County Council a plan that includes focusing on 4 main projects done in stages. $5 million in the capital budget to move the MD 355 bus rapid transit study to a locally preferred alternative stage. Once this phase is completed, the executive says the county will have the necessary information to allocate funds for design and construction.
When you look at all the transit options that are available, this is the only thing that you could feasibly do in a reasonable length of time and within a reasonable budget. And so I've always viewed that it was inevitable that the county sooner or later would have to confront how do we move the people that we plan on bringing here. And I think the moment of inevitability has now arrived.
On US 29, the executive is recommending $6.5 million for the planning and design of high-quality BRT and hopes to get this route up and running in less than 4 years with partnership with Howard County.
On 29, we can do this relatively easily, and as has been observed, a big chunk of the traffic coming down 29 is Howard County. So partnering with Howard County makes so much sense, and having the state involved with respect to that. 355 is fundamental to our economic future, and it's going to be more complicated. It's going to be more expensive, but we need to get after it. So if we bring 29 and 355 together, it's our own research triangle. It's FDA and NIH. This is the core of our economic future, and it is something that with this kind of action, we are going to make it happen. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ben. Thank you.
Now the Department of Transportation would like to start branding the system and are asking for public input to name the Bus Rapid Transit System, or BRT, that promises to transform transportation alternatives in the county in the next few years. The public is asked to select one of these names: Flash, Swift, or Rapid. Residents can vote until January 20th by visiting getonboardbrt.com. At the headquarters of the Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission, Transportation and Environment Committee members from Montgomery and Prince George's counties convened to discuss the Purple Line and WSSC issues. Susan Kennedy reports.
The meeting took place exactly 1 day after the Board of Public Works approved a contract with a team of private builders to construct the 16-mile Purple Line. T&E Committee Chair Roger Berliner observed the step signaled a new day for both counties.
Many people thought it would never happen, and now we have a signed agreement, and we are going to start digging dirt as of Monday on Elm Street.
Purple Line Transit Partners will build the project that's estimated to cost more than $5 billion. The contractor will build and operate the light rail line that will run from Bethesda to New Carrollton.
Things are going to start happening. A project that's so critical to both counties' financial future, the quality of life, is really going to make a big difference.
Along the Purple Line corridor, what we're seeing is kind of revitalization of those areas starting. I think the Purple Line will expand that opportunity along those lines.
Both Montgomery and Prince George's County will be kicking in millions of dollars in additional funding to the project. That said, council members say they will be staying on top of construction to be sure residents are not overlooked during the course of the build-out.
We slowed down the traffic on Wayne Avenue and just lowered the speed limit from 30 to 25. And there's going to be a lot of noise reduction, including some temporary noise walls and others, to make sure that the bad effects of construction, are some of them are unavoidable. We want to mitigate that as much as possible and minimize the neighborhood impact of the construction.
The Purple Line was not the only topic of discussion at the meeting. WSSC officials were on hand to update both councils on the budget and priorities of the bi-county agency. Council President Nancy Florine told the panel though she realizes infrastructure upgrades are necessary, she's concerned about the potential for additional rate increases.
We've had significant increases in WSSC rates over the years. I think they were valid, but at the point of saying enough is enough. And I've told WSSC they have to examine their own house, look at their continuing costs, and make some hard decisions about that.
In Laurel, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
Metro's General Manager Paul Wittefeld released a draft of SafeTrack, an expanded track work plan designed to improve Metro rail safety and to restore service reliability on an accelerated basis. Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett said the work was long overdue, and he stressed that the safety of Metro passengers has to be the highest priority.
I want to commend the General Manager for the initiative that he's taken at this point in time to permanently repair and replace the difficult challenges we have with the Ramada system Metro. This is an inconvenient time for all of us who utilize this system, but it's something that we must do in order to assure reliability and safety going forward. We know the impacts along George Avenue, the Red Line, along Wisconsin Avenue and Connecticut Avenue. We'll work with our Department of Transportation and Ramada to make sure that those conveniences are at a minimum, but it's something that unfortunately must be done, and we're going to work to ensure that this system is once and for all safe for the users, not only short term, but the long term as well.
When we come back, Secretary of State John Kerry visited one of our MCPS schools this year. And Montgomery College broke records on scholarship funds obtained by students. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
A message about protecting your pipes and ours from WSSC.
Welcome back to this end of the year special edition of County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili, and we're bringing you the stories that made headlines this year. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry discussed the importance of protecting our oceans with students at Montgomery Blair High School. MCPS TV has the story.
Please join me in a round of applause for our U.S. Secretary of State, Mr. John Kerry.
It is a great pleasure for me to be able to be here with all of you this morning.
On June 1st, science students at Montgomery Blair High School had the honor of hosting a very distinguished guest in their classroom, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. Secretary Kerry came to speak to students on the topic of a growing worldwide concern, the need to protect our oceans.
The fact is that the oceans are essential to your life because half the oxygen that we get, that we breathe, is produced through the oceans.
To have somebody who's that big of a name and that big of a face in politics talking about an issue that affects the world and affects everybody like the ocean, I think really helps the students understand how important of an issue it is. And being that he's the Secretary of State, really how global of an issue it is.
And it was amazing. Like, I didn't expect any, even though we're near DC, any high up member of the government to come sit in my freshman year physics classroom. And it does emphasize the importance of caring about the ocean and trying to do something because, as he was talking about, it's a huge issue.
Global climate change is having a profound negative impact on our oceans.
I'd known the general ideas of how bad things were, but not some of the very specific numbers he was giving that are really quite frightening.
There are now over 400 dead zones on a global basis, and they've gone up every single decade for the last decades. What does that tell you?
Joining Secretary Kerry on his visit was the Undersecretary for Economic Growth, Energy, and the Environment, Catherine Novelli, as well as Dr. Marcia McNutt, a marine geophysicist and president-elect of the National Academy of Sciences.
Students right now are starting to make decisions about who they are, the choices they make in life, where they live, what they do, how they vote. All of those things are going to affect the health of the oceans.
It's really important to get younger people interested, because in the end the consumers are going to decide what's going to happen in the future, and for students to be able to start looking at these choices and integrating them into their life is very important.
Montgomery College broke a record in scholarship funds and students getting financial support. MCTV's Carolina Galeano has a story.
How often do Montgomery College students get to thank their scholarship funders face to face? Well, that opportunity was afforded to them today by the MC Foundation, who gave them the chance to sit, chat, and mingle with their scholarship donors.
When you make a scholarship gift, you do it because you believe in the power of education. You know that it's going to help someone grow their life because of the opportunities that will be expanded for them because they are now educated.
Business leaders joined the philanthropic lunch, bringing a $30,000 check and a special message for students.
I'd like to encourage you, when you finish your formal education, please stay in Montgomery County. We need your talent, we need your expertise, and we need your energy to stay here in Montgomery County.
In this record year for the Montgomery College Foundation, in which more than 2,000 students received $2 million, some donors designate the funds for the kind of students they specifically want to support.
We created the scholarship so that we can help women and girls achieve their goals of going into fields like STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, because we know that those are the fields that are up and coming, and there's a huge need for people to enter those fields.
I was homeless. I was in a domestic abuse relationship. I have been through so many traumas and trials of pain. Based on the help that I'm receiving, I'm praying that I can be able to one day run my own practice, but not in 5 years, possibly get my degree, my bachelor's degree in social work.
These students probably have as much or more struggle than any other students here at the college. Again, the story of many times being homeless or in very temporary housing.
In a unique opportunity like the scholarship luncheon, students put a name and face to the generosity pushing them ahead in their educational pursuits. For County Report This Week, in Rockville, I'm Carolina Galeano.
On the economic development side, Clarksburg Premium Outlets opened doors, putting Montgomery County on the regional shopping destination list.
Cut the ribbon! Clarksburg Premium Outlets is now officially open. Enjoy your day of shopping!
Officially open for business, Clarksburg Premium Outlets will have about 90 upscale shops with discounts between 25 to 65%, making this the 7th outlet mall in Maryland.
And you heard that there were 6 outlets around the state of Maryland. And for many years, many Montgomery County residents, taxpayers, have been working and shopping at all of those other outlets and other places other than Montgomery County. And today starts a new day. We're going to do it right here in Montgomery County, Maryland.
The 392,000 square foot mall was designed like a racetrack, 2 levels, round-shaped, which means shoppers can park their cars anywhere and go through the entire course. Part of the design also took into account open spaces to maintain and complement the up-county heritage.
I really want to start off by thanking the Clarksburg community. I know this wasn't easy, and I know that there's still going to be some bumpy paths ahead when it comes to adjusting to something that is such a large regional draw.
Located right off I-270's exit 18, the outlets promise to be a tourist destination.
You know, this project will have a triple bottom line.
for the county. First, it will create a lot of jobs. It's already created jobs in building it. I think 800 or 1,000 jobs on an ongoing basis. That's fantastic. It'll put Clarksburg on the map because, as we know, people travel great distances to go to outlet malls. And so this will become one of the top tourism destinations, I believe, in the state of Maryland.
When we come back, the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio brought an unparalleled number of medals for the U.S. team from athletes that live in Maryland. We caught up with a star swimmer from our county. And the city of Rockville purchased a high-tech life-saving vehicle. County Report this week. We'll be right back.
Get to MC and we'll get you going.
Here's your chance to save money and help the environment. Bring your reusable bag when you shop and you'll save 5 cents for every store bag you don't need. Retailers in Montgomery County charge 5 cents for the plastic or paper bags they provide. Why? Because plastic bags are the biggest single source of stream and waterway litter, causing pollution and flooding. And every year, Montgomery County spends $3 million on cleanup. So do yourself and the environment a favor. Bring your reusable bag when you shop. You'll fight litter and keep the change.
Welcome back to the Best of County Report this week. Our show today highlights some of the stories that touched us in 2016. Fresh off her journey at the Olympics, Bethesda native Katie Ledecky landed at Dulles Airport, greeted by cheers and hugs by friends and teachers from the Stone Ridge community.
It means so much to me to have their support, and I felt it the whole week in Rio, and to see them first thing when I get home, it means so much to me. I hope to make as much of an impact as I can, and I know it. You know, we all had our goals in the pool, the U.S. team, but we also had the goal to hopefully inspire other young swimmers, other young kids who are watching on TV, and hopefully we did that.
The Rockville Volunteer Fire Department has a new high-tech life-saving vehicle in its fleet, all made possible by the city's support. Here's that story.
Members of the Rockville Volunteer Fire Department gathered at City Hall recently to show their gratitude for the city's support in the purchase of a new Advanced Life Support, or ALS, chase car. The new car supplements existing ALS service by making it more versatile, and it makes Rockville one of the first departments in the county to deploy a new service model, which places paramedics on rapid response vehicles.
It benefits the community in many ways. First off, it provides a greater, quicker advanced life support response. So we would respond with an ambulance to any call, and if they need a paramedic, the paramedic goes. If they don't need a paramedic, then the paramedic stays in service.
This unit will bring the paramedics EMT equipment without the cot. It's a smaller unit, it's faster, it fits into more places, and what we do is instead of having 2 paramedics on a transport unit or an ambulance, we put 1 paramedic on this chase car, and we can have 1 paramedic in an ambulance or on a fire engine. So if there's 2 calls, we can send a paramedic to each call.
The department has a long tradition of serving Rockville and considers its partnership with the city essential in providing the best and most efficient response to its citizens. The mayor and council included a $57,000 grant in the fiscal year 2016 budget to support the purchase of the car, a 2016 Chevy Tahoe known as ALS 703.
The importance here is that we could not have done it without the city. So it was up to the volunteers and partnership with the city to come up with the funding.
If you'd like to get involved and become part of an organization with over 200 members and 4 stations, here's what you need to do.
We are always looking for new members. We want to perpetuate ourselves for another 95 years. So they can go to our website, rvfd.org. All training is free, and we ask a minimum of 12 hours a week from anybody that wants to volunteer. So generally it's 1 night a week.
Find out more about volunteering and the new car at rvfd.org. For County Report this week, I'm Tony Playa.
And with that, we close this special edition of County Report This Week. We will return in 2017 with more of the stories that impact you as a county resident. I'm Lorna Virgili. From all of us here, we wish you a safe holiday season and a happy new year.